Hello everyone, and welcome to my garden update number 1. Today is April 19th, 2015. First up are my tomatoes, and I have right there, I think these only have about 20 tomatoes all over them. The only one variety I know is Bobcat, and that would be this one over here. There's 11 different plants in here, and I have no clue what the varieties are. So, I do have one big one down over in there. That's the only tomato I can really find, other than a couple above it, but that's the only one on this side of my garden. Next would be I have 2 black cherry tomatoes. I'm doing an experiment to see which grows better, up a pole or on a bush. And then the other half of the experiment is to see whether they grow better in full sun or in part sun. So these would be the part sun ones, and of course this is on a pole. It's putting out a couple little flower clusters. They're actually pretty big for tomato clusters that I've seen, but I have not gotten any off of it so far. And then next would be the bush. This, I can't find any tomato. Oh, actually, there's a couple back in there, a little cluster. But other than that, it's not really flowering other than there and there. Okay. Next up would be more tomatoes that I have right over here. These are both cherry tomatoes. There's 2 of them. There's one right here and one right there. I grew them from seeds, so they're the same variety, but I do not know what that variety is. So there's a couple on here that I can see. Like there's a couple over there, and there was a bigger cluster right there, but something is eating little bites out of these 2, so I think those are just trash now. But yeah. And then next would be all these tomatoes. First we have 2 beefsteak. I think these are Jet Star tomatoes. They're actually flowering a whole bunch and setting fruit pretty nicely. There's a little cluster right there. Cluster starting. Another one. I'll give you a top view. There's a cluster right over there of about 5, and hope those would be good. I actually have gotten one so far off of these. It wasn't very big, but it's probably about the size, a little bit bigger than a tennis ball. So next would be, I actually just transplanted this, so it's doing really bad. But that is a can't think of it. I know it's some kind of cherry, but I can't think of the variety. And then right over here you have a husk tomato, which I've gotten one off of here as well. And there's a little cluster down right over there. So this would be a grape Tam G tomato. And this is actually putting out nice clusters all over the place. I've already harvested a bunch off of there. Just setting out some more flowers all over, and yeah, the sucker just keeps on growing. I think that it's getting sunburnt because we had a big storm and it tipped it over, so now this is all in direct sun the entire day, and it's turned like a really glossy, like dark green yellow color. So okay. Next up is I'm gonna step around the wheelbarrow. Is the other 2 black cherry tomatoes on my experiment. These are the full sun ones, and I can definitely tell the full sun is doing a whole lot better. Not just growing wise, but producing. Like this one is on a pole, and I've already harvested a few off of there, of that cluster. That cluster's getting pretty good. This is a really big cluster right over here, of about 20, I'd say. I don't know, I need to get through and count them, but then send out some more flowers over here, some over there, and I'd say it's probably about 3.5 foot tall right now. This is the bush variety of, or not bush variety, bush plant. I don't really know what to call that, but there's a couple sets of little flowers on there. There's no real tomatoes on it yet. Next up is the yellow pear. Stand up on the chair. From about here all the way over to there and up and around to there is all 2 yellow pear tomatoes. These are growing like crazy, and I actually have not been able to find any tomatoes on there, but there's a bunch of little sets of flower clusters there, down there, some over here, but no tomatoes yet. Okay, now up and over here I have 2 sun golds. This one's kind of tipped over, and then this one is about 4.5 foot tall and growing pretty fast. This is definitely the best variety I've grown. It's setting out clusters about like this. It's got probably 10 to 15 of those all over the entire plant. There's back there, up there, there, all around. This is just a really good variety. And I have gotten one off of this big cluster down here, and it tasted amazing. This is probably the best tasting tomato I've had. There's a nice big cluster, some more flowers all over. It's producing down here. Yeah, and then up next I have a black Krim tomato, which I've found out has really cool looking flowers. Like, compared to the normal tomato flower, it's like bent back like that. These actually like look like a little star or something. Yeah. But this has not produced any tomatoes that I can see yet. It's starting to actually shade out some of my banana peppers. But yeah, hoping that produces. I really want to taste those. I like the colored tomatoes. They just seem to have a better taste to them, rather than just the normal red. So, that is the tomato update. I'm going to have a part 2, since YouTube will not let me post one long video. I have to have multiple parts. So, this is the end of this half. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.